This is Opposite Attraction, Season 4, Episode 8. A salute to all nations, but mostly Ohio.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, keep your arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle at all times, because this here is Opposite Attractions. I am your host, Scottye Moore, joined as always by the littlest mouseketeer in the group, J-I-M. M-U real soon. M-U-R.
You do not want me to M you, ever.
M-U-R-P-H-Y, because we love you. It's Jim Murphy.
Yes, happy birthday, Mickey.
It is Mickey's birthday, that old
Actually,
bastard.
I really don't know what the actual day is. I want to say it's like the 18th or something.
Oh, yeah.
But they did his celebration on ABC this past weekend, and good lord.
It's astounding how little Disney stuff I get into other than the parks.
Okay, so I didn't even know it was on until like 20 minutes before it started, and I saw tweets, and I'm like, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
And I expected it to be more like not every Disney special that's been aired for the past 3 years or 6 years. Where it's
so
just
what
like,
you're saying is these Disney specials are a bit like the WWE, and you're just like, it's gotta be something different now, guys.
I wanted, like, the Christmas specials and all that stuff. It's literally just like, here's 2 hours of some random Disney songs and random Christmas songs by people that work for Disney. That's pretty much what they all are.
Yeah.
I was hoping for, like, an actual thing about Mickey that was more than, like, 6 or 7 3-minute montages, and then the rest of the time was singing random Disney songs that have nothing to do with Mickey Mouse.
You wanted the Comedy Central roast of Mickey Mouse.
I wanted something more like a documentary than like somebody singing Part of Your World for no reason.
Yeah,
and in the most sexual way I've ever heard it ever.
What?
Like, this girl, who I don't even know who she was, I know she's some Disney TV actress or whatever, she comes down like Teddy Bear in Country Bears on a swing from the ceiling and is singing Part of Your World in this, like, throaty, like she wanted to jump off this swing and into that mouse's lap for the whole 4 minutes of the song.
Isn't it neat?
It was very creepy. And I can't remember even what else. Let's see. Somebody sang Colors of the Wind, and like Minnie came out in a sequin dress and they danced. Oh, I forgot. Every once in a while they would have a band playing a song, and then they would like cut, and Mickey would like pop out, and he'd be like, he was playing the drums at one point.
Okay.
Like full suit, head, playing the drum, like going off on these drums, like amazing. At one point he street danced with like some K-pop band that I'd never heard of that was apparently super popular.
Holy shit. Have you
and
seen
the
the
second
video?
he ran out, the second he walked out and started he's wearing like a tracksuit and he's dancing, and it cuts to the crowd, and there's like 7 girls in frame all like losing their shit, and there's one girl just like mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Have you seen the video of, like, it's in Japan, and it's this guy in this giant, I don't know what animal it's supposed to be, but imagine just like a big fat Totoro, but he's red. And the video title is something just like, when you're overqualified for the job, and you hear like this...
Yes, I have seen that, yes.
Yeah, like you hear this happy Japanese singing, and then he's in the background with like double bass pedals, like, and it's my second favorite video on the internet.
That was every third or fourth song, like Mickey would pop up doing something like that.
Yeah.
And then in between, I think, let's see, Meghan Trainor popped up and sang like, "You've Got a Friend in Me," I think, with a bunch of kids. That was just pretty cool.
She just sang one of her songs.
They brought out two of the original Mouseketeers, like from 1955. That was pretty cool.
That's cool.
And then like at the end, they're like, come back from the break and it's Mickey's birthday celebration. They're like, what the fuck was this last 2 hours? And then he comes out and they sing the Mickey Mouse Club song or whatever, or they sing happy birthday to him, and a cake rises up from the back of the theater, and it's like he's on top of it.
Holy shit.
And it literally looked like, if you ever seen what the castle, Cinderella Castle, looked like for the 25th anniversary, that pink.
Yeah.
This castle looked like what the Mexico Pavilion would look like if they did that.
Oh, that don't
Just imagine they turned the Mexico Pavilion into a giant cake, and that is what was behind Mickey Mouse as he was like, thanks, guys! It's my birthday.
Bringing up Mouseketeers made me think, do you think Disney's kind of salty with Justin Timberlake that he jumped ship to DreamWorks to do Trolls? They're like, you were one of us, Justin!
It's weird, though. They did that run of the Mouseketeers was like 4 seasons or 5 seasons or something.
Yeah.
But like all the famous people that you know of that were on that show were on like the last season. Or like the last season and a half or something. Like they weren't there the whole time. They were there for like 15 months.
Yeah, but Disney more than willing to be like, but check it out, y'all. We had them. We had them for a few.
Yeah. And like they showed Christina Aguilera singing, and she's like 12, and she has exactly Christina Aguilera voice, and you're like, yeah, that shouldn't
come out of a child.
No, not at all. It was really creepy.
Yeah. And then what were you saying about the supposed roast of Mickey Mouse where all the women were coming out?
Yeah, literally every woman that came out was either singing a song that was like really kind of sultry sounding, or they would come out and be like, I just remember seeing Mickey when I was a kid, and now I'm seeing him as an adult. He's right there. I just want to hug him. I just want to hug. Can I get a hug with you? Like every single, but they definitely did not want to just hug that mouse. Under any circumstances.
I want to fuck that rat. I want to fuck that nasty rat. Let's go. Much like when we went to the Chuck E. Cheese and a redneck got mad because Chucky wouldn't take a picture with him. I just heard
if Larry the Cable Guy would have came out and just started yelling at Mickey Mouse, that would have made the whole show worthwhile.
It would have worked because he's technically a Disney person because cars.
I will say Robert Iger showed up, and I said on Twitter, it did look like his hair was sculpted by Blaine Gibson.
But yeah, no, Larry comes out, he's like, I've known fucking Mickey only for a little bit of my life, but I tell you what, me and him driving up and down the fucking roads eating some Prilosec, it was fantastic. You ever eat hot cheese with Mickey Mouse at 2 in the morning? Then none of y'all know Mickey Mouse like I do. This man knows how to fucking party. Larry, calm down.
Yeah, please, Larry.
I'm mad that I can't go down there for Christmas because I really want to go to another. Despite being not a particularly religious person, I super love going to the reading of the Christmas tale.
We did it in 2012, and the person that did it was someone I'd never heard of, and I can't remember even who it was.
Yeah.
But it was very good. But the fact that all the people singing are cast members, it's like, hey, awesome, good job.
Yeah. Well, I went because A, one of my friends was doing it. B, a very cute girl asked me to go, and C, it was Neil Patrick Harris reading it. So I said,
that's exactly why I would want to see it.
Yes, I'm going.
Amy Grant's not doing it this year, which is weird because I feel like she does it every year.
Who?
Amy Grant.
Oh yeah. Well, see, here the weird thing for me was, the main reason most people go is to hear the music and this wonderful chorus of voices coming together to sing on this joyous occasion. You could see the entire audience once they started singing, be like, no, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We just want to see Neil. We want to see Neil. And my favorite part was Neil wasn't mic'd for singing, but you could see him getting it and then also dance into the music. Neil Patrick Harris loves Disney World.
We're going to go down next year at holiday time, but I don't think it's going to be for the processional.
Oh, yeah. I told you, and I don't know if we talked about it on the show, the fact that I read Neil Patrick Harris's autobiography where you get to choose your own adventure, and at one point it was like, if you'd like to take your kids to Disneyland, click here. And I went, fuck yes, click! Oh, it's just words. Okay, that's fine, I guess.
It's just words.
It's just words. I mean, I thought it was going to take me to a page where it was going to give me tickets to Disney World with children. So Jim Murphy, this is a podcast where we build our own theme park. And this season, we've been rocking, kicking it in the free world, because this is a theme park all about America. And so each week, instead of being spooky
it's a
or
glorious
whatever,
3-hour podcast.
a glorious 3-hour podcast, hardcore history. Everything's themed after states. We've done Texas, Alabama, California, these iconic states, and then this week we did Ohio, a state which, when I looked up shit about Ohio, one of the top listed, this is one of the great things about Ohio, was it's normal. I'm sorry? They were just like, yes, it's such a common state that apparently, food people will go and test in Ohio to see if their food is good because it's common.
I think a lot of test kitchens are in the Midwest. Like, Patton Oswalt jokes about that. He's like, they ain't going to give somebody some kind of weird, motor oil flavored Sprite that's going to give them an extra arm. They're going to put that shit in Kansas City.
Yep. So, but here's the thing. That Google search that took me 5 seconds, that's really all the research I did on Ohio.
Oh, goody.
So, this ride that I've brought to the table this week is called Scottye Moore Presents His Best Guess. And this is called The Best Guess. And so you go up to the outside show building, and it's kind of it's like this cozy cabin in the woods kind of area. There's nice fauna and bushes around the outside, and there's lovely, it's a really lived in area. And as you enter, you go into a cabin, you go by a really nice fireplace, and there's an old lady animatronic knitting, which is weird. That I'm fairly sure that's not the first time I've put an old lady knitting in the queue line of my ride, but we're gonna run with it. You hear birds singing, and you go through the kitchen, and then you go into the backyard, and that's gonna be themed like the woods. It's gonna be like E.T. Adventure, to where you see this wonderful wooded area. You see deers popping in and out, so you get really the nature experience of Ohio is what I'm trying to achieve today. So after that, you crawl through it as some more adventurous music starts playing. Fresh pine hits your nostrils, that smell, as you get onto a cart. And the cart setup is almost like the Jungle Cruise. There's about 7 other people in there, but there are shoulder harnesses keeping you in place for safety. And then you just take a nice trip through the nature of Ohio, seeing the woods, these animatronic animals dancing. You see bases of these massive, beautiful mountains. And then the road gets a little bit bumpy, it gets a little bit stonewalled. And then you come across, one of those classic old Ohio towns with their big stone buildings and thicket roofs. And there are people happily waving to you, and you get to see all the Ohioans in their tarps and gear and pickaxes. And then you come across this massive tower, which of course Ohio is known for, and animatronics come out of the tower and surround your cart on one side as they start to demand you get out. And so then you kind of see a door on the front of the cart open, but your shoulder... you're not supposed to get out, but, the implication is you're supposed to leave.
Okay.
But you're still harnessed in, and then suddenly a massive dragon swoops down from the sky and lands atop the tower, roaring to the skies, as is known in Ohio. And, of course, as soon as that happens, this wonderful light show plays behind it as, smoke starts pouring out and the entire building turns red. And the dragon spooks the horses that carry your cart here in the land of modern-day Ohio. And off you go on a madcap adventure where this dragon's trying to snatch you up. Like, you'll come face-to-face with it. Flame effects shooting up with smoke. And then finally you find refuge in this old kind of prison kind of thing. And you explore parts of the prison, but, you know, like, you see you can't really escape because the dragon has broken down bits of the building, so you have to make your way down into a dungeon. And so you start exploring this old Ohio dungeon, and then suddenly a group of ruffians come and try to attack your cart and use their powerful magics to destroy you. Classic Ohio behavior. And this begins another trace through the dungeon as more effects start blasting around you. You see these Ohio sorcerers hit you with water, blasting from walls, electricity, which actually strikes some tombs, awakening the undead, and now there's dead zombies chasing after your cart. And then after you fight past massive spiders and a gigantic bear, you make your way back to the outside where you come face to face with the dragon and the cart stops. And it's kind of like the end of King Kong where there's the giant King Kong animatronic just staring at you and you can feel its breath. But you have to stay still because I've been told the vision of dragons is based on movement.
Is the dragon voiced by Ben Affleck?
No, it's not. And so the dragon is kind of staring at your cart as you're frozen. But then it turns away and roars as your cart slinks away behind it. And you're saved from the Dragon of Ohio on this, the best guess.
Yes, everyone knows Virginia is for lovers, but Ohio is for mages.
Yes. And now the gift shop has some nice things here and there, but really, there's nothing that impressive. But I've been told if you talk to the innkeeper, he will give you a quest to fetch the Golden Claw, which is a mystical artifact that was stolen from there 3 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, that's really my ride. I feel like I captured the spirit of Iowa. Fuck, I'm in Ohio. Anyways. So, yeah, that's the best guess.
I guess I should be glad I actually did some tiny, slight little bit of research on this.
What do you mean, Jim? I thought mine was absolutely perfect.
That does probably explain why Travis McElroy would live there.
Yeah, he was like, I'm ready to go adventure, Dad. I'm gonna go become the Dovahkiin. I think that played my hand a little bit too much there, but yeah, that's my ride, the best guess. You get to go fight dragons and kill people in the land of Ohio.
Okay, well, do you know what I know about Ohio?
It's round on the ends and high in the middle. Made that joke last week, but I'm gonna do it again.
There is a thing that is famous in Ohio, and it is called Cincinnati chili. Have you heard of Cincinnati chili?
I thought you were about to say Mike the Miz Mizanin, but I'm happy you said chili instead.
Yeah.
I do not know about the great Ohio chili, Jim. Tell me about it.
Cincinnati chili is not chili like a stew. It is more like a chili, like a hot dog style, like a chili, like that you would put on a hot dog. But in Ohio, they like to put it on spaghetti and top it with cheese that is about the size of your head. Like,
now,
I'm talking
Jim
like
Murphy,
this much cheese.
Jim Murphy is a simple, small-town southern podcaster. I cannot abide by this horrid
They also
thing.
put beans and onions on it if you wish.
No,
to do that.
it ain't chili if it ain't got the beans in it right now, Mr. Jim Murphy. Let me tell you now, you gotta put the beans and the meat in that chili. Dip you some saltines in it. Whatever this abomination is these Ohio people calling it chili, it ain't nothing but willy. Let me tell you that right now.
Well, I do want to bring you to my attraction. It is called Chili War. It's sort of like Cold War, but it's chili and kind of like not chili, but chili like the food. So that's a double pun.
Okay.
I really got to stretch that. So there's two main, like, famous Cincinnati chili places in Cincinnati. They are Skyline Chili and Gold Star Chili.
Okay.
So the outside of my ride kind of looks like those two buildings facing each other, but they're kind of like dilapidated.
All right.
And basically, you go in, you walk through like between the restaurants. It's very run down. You basically find out that they have angered Eldritch gods, and spaghetti monsters have arisen from the
there
depths.
you go. Eldritch gods. Now you're starting to get in the real spirit of Ohio, Jim.
Yes, so this is not exactly a flying spaghetti monster situation, but it is very close. Like, I don't want to use that, like, the religious symbol of the flying spaghetti monster, but it's basically what it is.
Of the Pastafarians, yes.
Yes. But so you were told you need to get into a vehicle to, like, escape these horrors, while some famous Ohio celebrities are going to basically play defense.
Okay. I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it.
These celebrities are a basketball player that may or may not be LeBron James. This ride was in construction before he moved states. So he is never mentioned by name. You just see a basketball player in a jersey that is unnumbered. Bernie Kosar, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
You see the 23 of LeBron with an X over it.
So he's one. The second is Bernie Kosar, former quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. The third is Drew Carey.
Okay, Jim.
The fourth...
Jim, what? You're getting dangerously close to fucking superstar limo territory right now.
Wait, I understand. Fourth is The Miz.
I came to play!
And then fifth is Charlie Sheen dressed as Ricky Vaughn from Major League.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So you get into this ride vehicle, and it is a screen-based sort of 3D-ish ride, whereas you're trying to run from the monsters. You like see like the LeBron fake like throwing like bombs that look like basketballs. Bernie Kosar's throwing like grenades. Charlie Sheen's throwing like fastball bomb things. Drew Carey is basically riding a mono wheel that is the Price is Right wheel.
Okay.
It's basically a motorized giant wheel.
Why are you making a reference that's younger than me? Because the fact that you compared Drew Carey to The Price is Right immediately made me go, wait, what? Oh, right,
and
he's
if you've ever seen Scooby-Doo and the WrestleMania Mystery...
Jim...
Have you seen that?
Jim, do you know who the fuck I am?
So, you know how every time you see The Miz in that movie, he just gets beat up?
Yeah.
That's essentially how you would see The Miz in this ride. Every time you see him, he is getting knocked through a window.
Okay.
Or have something... Or, like... Bernie Kosar throws a football grenade and then like blows up at his feet. Okay. So the problem with this is because it's Ohio and there's a lot of Ohio sports players, you don't actually win on the ride. You lose. The humans lose.
Jim.
And so you exit the ride into like a safe house where you can buy Cincinnati chili from one of the two competing companies that will be staged in the exit. However, two caveats. One, if any of the celebrities that are on the ride as characters ride the ride, they set it up so that they win. So if you were on the ride and like the celebrity comes through and they see them, they flip a switch and the last scene changes from them being all beat to them doing like a Captain Planet and they form Pete Rose. And he, like, Voltron swords a baseball bat up, and he's like, you thought you had us beat, but you didn't bet on me. And then he fucking, like, just bats him in the face. And then you win, and then everybody gets free chili when they get off the ride.
So anytime The Miz rides this...
Yes.
Fucking...
There is a problem, caveat, if Pete Rose rides, not only does everybody lose, but Pete Rose helps the aliens win.
I thought you were going to say if Pete Rose rides, same thing. The giant spaghetti monster then turns into the demon Kane. And then
actually,
slams Pete Rose.
They do the same thing where they try to form Pete Rose, but then they find out that he bet against the humans.
Okay, so and that ride is called...
It is called Chili War, like Cold War, but with chili, because it's not as cold, and it's a food.
There's gotta be a better name.
I could not. I literally, like, I had the entire idea for the ride and all the endings, and then I went, I have no name.
Chili Willies. Oh, so Jim, we've got 2 rides. I feel like yours wasn't as faithful to Ohio as mine was. I feel like I really had it, solid, but you kind of did all these fun goofs, but, it's whatever. But we have to do something next week. We gotta go all out next week. We gotta go crazy. Buck wild. Where are we going?
Well, a listener said that we had not done the upper Midwest yet. So I decided that the challenge for next week would be pure Michigan.
I thought you were going to say the entire upper Midwest. Like you're fucking mad we didn't include you? We got all of them. We're about to have a ride based on Twilight in fucking Washington. Let's do this.
Not in the Midwest.
But upper Midwest.
Well, still, it is not in the Midwest.
It's very upper. It's extremely upper Midwest.
It is upper. It is not Midwest.
Oh, man. So I got my tickets for PodCon, the great convention for podcasters, earlier today. And it's in Seattle, Washington, and I'm mad because a lot of my friends love Twilight, and I want to go to Forks and just hold out a middle finger while taking a selfie. Like, that's what you get, you sparkly fucks.
Jesus, okay.
I'm just kidding. Twilight's decent.
That's also what that redneck yelled at Chuck E. Cheese.
Fuck you, Chucky, you sparkly fuck! Oh, Jesus. And now he's not even Chucky anymore. He's like this weird pop-punk Chuck E. Cheese, and it's garbage, and I hate it.
Is he like when they tried to redo Ronald McDonald, so they put him in khaki pants?
Well, see, the only good thing...
And a hipster vest?
The only good thing about new Chucky is he's voiced by the lead singer of Bowling for Soup, which is dope as shit. Otherwise, no. New Chucky's not as good.
I think it'd be funnier if he was voiced by both singing members of They Might Be Giants at the same time.
No, he's voiced by Chad Kroeger. Voiced by Chad Kroeger of Nickelback. Welcome to Chuck E. Cheese. We got all the pizza that you please. How'd that kid get so sad? Oh, because he got 1,000 tickets and only got this.
I remember getting like the Tootsie Rolls, but they're fruit flavored, and it was like, hey, if you have 1 ticket, we'll give you 2 of them. So I walk up with like 1,000 tickets, like, I want fucking fruities. Give me some fruities right now.
Jimothy Murphy, as a former employee of several arcades, those things are like crack cocaine.
Exactly.
They're the reason why Scottye Moore in 2016 was in a small t-shirt and Scottye Moore in 2018 is in a large t-shirt. It got so bad, the arcade in Orlando I worked at, we would spend... Firstly, the people who worked on Dr. Doom's Fearfall would come down on their 15s and just be like, give me all the fucking candy you can get. So that was one thing, but also if it was a really slow day, it would turn into like fucking Gordon Ramsay's Candy Chef. And you just pull out as much candy as possible and see what you can make with it. To the extent, one day I wanted to make the most sour thing. I guess the podcast is still happening. Fuck it. I wanted to make the most sour thing possible, so I took a warhead, wrapped it in sour belts, then took sour airheads we had, wrapped it in that, then like 3 more layers of sour shit, then ate it. And you've had a warhead before, correct?
Long time ago. I'm not a fan of like cinnamony things.
Well, that's good, because warheads don't have cinnamon on them, but that's...
fuck me, then what am I thinking of?
Fireballs.
I'm thinking of...
Atomic
fireballs, yes.
Yes, they're garbage,
yes.
I know.
I'm not a fan of sour stuff really either, so that's probably...
But, like, a warhead is, like, solid. It's like a hard thing that you suck on, like a jawbreaker. By the time...
I'm glad you...
Thank you.
Yes.
By the time I finished chewing through this sour abomination, Jim Murphy, there was no warhead in the center, and I think the sour was so bad it dissolved it.
Ooh.
I
Problem.
know. My face was perma-puckered for a full day.
Did you ever see the jawbreakers they had for like the Flintstones that were like the size of a baby's fist?
I owned one, and it became
It's like this big.
and I was like 10, so my head was even smaller.
Yeah,
And-
it was the Ed, Ed, and Eddie problem.
Yeah, so like I just remember holding it and just like cupping it to my mouth and trying to make any progress. It's impossible. You just kind of hold it and
It did have a
lick.
rocky texture on the outside too. It was like chewing a giant piece of gravel.
It was a horrible thing. All right, and there's the 30-minute mark we needed to vamp towards. Anyways, Jim Murphy, what's our challenge for next week?
I said pure Michigan, sir.
Oh, that's right. So our ride next week.
Tim the Tool Ride, Taylor.
Tim the Tool. Can I just a little bit of a worry?
Okay.
I don't think if it's Michigan we can have a water ride. I mean, I'm just saying we can have one, but it's gonna be pretty murky water.
We also can't have an attraction in South Detroit because that's technically Canada.
Yeah. Well, now, where the Jim? I'm bad at maps. Where's Michigan? Because for some reason I thought it was up near Massachusetts.
No, Michigan's in the middle. It has lakes around it. And it has one piece that's up here like this and another piece that's down here like this.
Oh, that thing.
And they have an island where you can't have vehicles.
All right.
And they said people like these like rich a-holes get off of the ferry and they're like they have all their luggage and they're like, we need a ride to the hotel, and they're like, well, we got a carriage that's going to come around in like a half hour.
Have fun with that. Can we make a challenge specific to where one of us has to do one half of the hand of Michigan and one has to do the other half?
Oh, I don't even know what the top would be.
Nothing.
Oh, South Canada the ride.
South Canada the ride. So Jim Murphy, it's been an episode. I should have only put one shot of rum in my Dr. Pepper. How have you been? Where can they find you on the internet?
They can find me online at Apparently Smart on Twitter. And technically, when you hear this, my birthday would be about 3 or 4 days late. So you can just go in there and tell me happy birthday late.
Happy birthday to Jim. Happy birthday. I'm trying to be like a woman at the Mickey Mouse night. Happy birthday.
You just hold on. I gotta get the cough out. You just think this is my tail.
And with that, you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo, SCOTTYEMO. Buy all my books on Amazon, the Queasel Corp trilogy, BS versus the Gods. And if you want a free audiobook copy of the first 2 Queasel Corp books or BS versus the Gods, I'm working on the 3rd right now, go to audibletrial.com/BS Network. Get you a free 30-day trial of Audible with over hundreds of thousands of audiobooks to choose from. It's a no-brainer. You get something for free. We get supported. It's a win-win. So check that out. But if you want to support us otherwise, you can over on Patreon, patreon.com/aloadofbs, or by picking up some up-at merch at merch.aloadofpurebs.com. Remember to check out all the other shows online at aloadofpurebs.com. There's Fight Boys if you like pro wrestling, Fun Fiction if you like fan fiction and movies and that, and then a load of BS if you like 2 guys being assholes for an hour. So check all of that out, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, remember to find all of our older seasons online at opposite-attractions.com. And remember, you can find Jim and me on Twitter at OppatShow. That's spelled OPPATTSHOW. Are you down with OP?